our message is very simple. What can we do to improve the well-being of our people?
So what are you doing to improve the well-being of the Gabonese? Because we do know that the country is minerally endowed, particularly with oil, but it doesn't really do well in the Human Development Index.
Well, oil has been a blessing, but also a curse. So what we want to address, the problem is that to diversify economy. What can we do to make sure that when we run out of oil, we'll still be able to provide the needs of our people? So basically our economy has been based on the selling of raw, material. Raw when it comes to logs, but also when it comes to minerals. And it's important for us to be able to, give also employment to our people and to make sure that we are able to boost, our revenues. It's important for us to go through diversification and naturally through manufacturing of all those, resources that we have.
What about changing the investment complex? Often people, when they talk about Gabon, and indeed a lot of other French-speaking African countries, they talk about that relationship with France and the fact that within the oil industry, you've tended to focus a lot on investments from French oil companies, and the scope isn't wide enough for others to come through. Are you changing that?
Of course we are, and we've been doing that for years. It just, image that that people still want to see us, but France is one of our most important partners. That's true. But we have other partners, even in the oil industry. And to give you an example, since I've been elected and put in office, we have been able to secure $4 billion direct, foreign direct investment, none from France, aside from France. Doesn't give you any indication that Gabon is going globally?
Yeah. And what about environmental issues? Because in as much as energy security is a theme internationally, so is climate change, so are questions around green economies.
The challenge for us is very clear. How can you develop your country, without, making sure, without destroying the environment? That is the challenge. So for us, it was important to see globally and to put two together. But we have to go further than that, than just, being able to say, well, let's save the world, the environment, all these ideas. What is very important now for us is to bring on the business community on board and make environment, a profitable business. Yeah. It's important because we government alone will not be able to raise enough money, to secure a right environment. But also for us, we have to learn from mistakes of others. Others have developed their countries not really thinking about the damage done to the environment. Now, those same countries are spending billions trying, to make up for what they've done in the past. So we have to take a lesson from that and say, well, instead of going that long road, let's find a shortcut, but a shortcut that makes sure that, we take everything into account. So that's what we're trying to do in Gabon.
I mean, obviously you've had, besides the energy and oil space, a very thriving and rip-roaring timber industry. We're now talking about industrialization in Africa, the need to stop exporting raw commodities internationally and value add. You've just mentioned that initially. What sort of issues or areas are you focusing on?
That was one of the challenges, and we wanted to address that aggressively. We declare a ban on log exports, just to make sure that to give all the industries, all the companies involved, they say, well, this is our message. We want you to invest in Gabon, to create, manufacturing, factories, in order for us to have more, to add more value to our own woods, and to also give, our people more job opportunities. But it goes also with the fact that you have to improve training, because you want, processing to be done in your country. Make sure that your people are able to come up, So right now, it is important for us also to develop, training capacity, for our people.
Right. Okay. Talking about your people, a lot of citizens don't actually live in Gabon. They are studying in the United States or living in Europe. What's your attempt at bringing members of the diaspora back to, one, address the skill shortages that exist within Africa and within Gabon, and two, to really re-engineer kind of national consciousness or unity?
We have really tried to address that problem, and we have to create the same conditions. Some of your people are abroad. Why? Because they do not find the same, job opportunities, and when they do, they don't find the same salaries. So we also have to trust our own people, and then we have been reaching out, explaining to our people what we are trying to do. Elements first of good governance, fight against corruption, but also tell them that we are counting on them to come and to participate, not only to participate, but to make sure that the development of Gabon will be their own. Instead, with the programs that we have, we need manpower. So it's ridiculous for me to go look for some qualified manpower in other countries when I have some citizen able to do it. But the first results are positive. We are right now getting response from our diaspora, and it is true to say that we see many Gabonese coming back now.